Hello and welcome once again to your program. And the program is Mobilizing for Development, M4D for short. My name is Zachary Yusuf. And of course, as usual, I have my guest in the studio to discuss another topical issue. As we know that Mobilizing for Development is actually has been pursuing what it takes to give good governance and through people participatory in budgetary activities and governance. M4D aims to enhance local governance and contribute to improved local service delivery in selected LGAs of Kano, Kaduna, and Jigawa states. M4D is funded by the UK Department for International Development and it's managed by the Palladium Group. Once again, I'm your host, Zachary Yusuf. In the studio today, we'll be looking at work with local government officers on planning and budget. And we are talking about development and, of course, service delivery. Mobilizing for development, it's already in the forefront in such activity. Now, to discuss this important topic, I have Alhaji Sani Ayuba, who is the Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, Ringim Local Government of Jigawa State. You're welcome onto the show, sir.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to introduce Malam Aminu Jafar, who is the Deputy Director, Education and Development of Igabi Local Government Area of Kaduna State. You're welcome, sir.
Hello, viewers.
And we've been telling you that mobilizing for development are always in making sure there's ginger the swag of the people, particularly through the community-based organizations, and it's well represented in the studio once again. Today is Awaisu Umar Usman, who is the chairman of Garumalam Youth's Progressive Movement in Kano. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, all is set once again, like I did talk about the topic, is work with local government officers on planning and budgeting. So it has to do with money. All right, so let's set the ball rolling, and I'll be firing my first shot today on to Alhaji Aliu Ayuba, who is the Director, Planning, Research, and Statistics. And again, the question is, in the area of planning and budgeting, what is the nature of engagement within the LGA?
Thank you. The nature of engagement within the LGA, I want to take the Jigawa State case.
All right.
Because the Ministry for Local Government or the state government is bestowed with the responsibility to legislate over the local government. So the state government, in conjunction with the Ministry for Local Government, they triggered the first stage of budget process in the local government. So what's happening, the ministry, in conjunction with the state government, they send what is called budget envelope and budget call circular. The budget envelope is specifying what the local government chairman, for example, office of the local government chairman will spend, what will spend from the all head of departments, and what is there for you for the capital project, that is for you to deliver service to the community, and what is your personnel cost and what is your overhead cost.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on to Igabi and find out, do you have the same arrangement? Does the state government trigger the budget processes?
Yeah, of course, this is the normal process that the state government through the Ministry for Local Government start the budgeting process through a call circular to the local government to prepare the annual estimate for onward transmission to the state and the state assembly for approval. And the engagement, as you asked, with the M4D is a timely engagement or intervention to change the game as it used to be before. We used to plan for the people, now we plan with the people. We ensure that people participate fully in budgeting process. Yeah.
All right. Again, the community-based organizations that you represent in ways.
Yeah.
What has been the major key roles you play in terms of the first stage of budget? Now, the two gentlemen has already talked about call circular and envelope. We're coming to talk about that envelope a little bit later. Yes. What's the major roles you play?
So yeah, our role came in immediately when the circular is out. The local government will send a letter to we CBOs in the local communities. Then we go around to generate community demands in various communities in the local government. Then that letter invite us to come for a budget the budget preparation. So at the point we present the community demands, then the local government officials will accept it and incorporate it in their budget. Then they send it to the Ministry for Local Government for approval. Then the Ministry for Local Government will now go through it and send it back for review. That is after they must have made some corrections. Then after then, the local government Department for Budget and Planning will now invite us again to come for review to make sure that what we generated from our various communities is being captured, and from there then we finalize it and send it back for approval. Then after the final approval, the local government will now share the copy with the CBOs of the local government.
At what point? I want to cut you short here. Yeah. At what point did the community-based organizations you start engaging the community to come forward with their demands?
So immediately when the circular is out, or nowadays before even the circular come, we know that the circular normally come out on September. So before then, we usually go around the community to generate and prioritize the demand to be ready at hand before the invitation from the local government.
So the core circular for 2018 budget is already out?
It's already out.
It's already out.
Yes,
and you guys are working on it?
I'm very much sure by next week, I was told by the local, by the department, PRS department, by next week we will be invited.
All right. Again, Sani Ayuba, let me come back to you. Has the LGA been assisted in this area by any development organization? If there is any, which one?
Yes, the answer is yes. The LGS has been assisted by Mobilizing for Development, which is M4D.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Igabi also?
No, apart from M4D, we have this Gender Awareness Trust. It's also an NGO who came to support the CBOs and the local the service providers on community budgeting.
Yeah, so
yes.
The budgeting issue.
Yes.
All right. Okay. What sort of assistance, has, the development partner given to the LGAs in the area of planning and budgeting?
Yeah. There are many sorts of assistance, like what I like in terms of capacity building, on how to plan an effective and transparent budget, and again how to involve the community in preparation of our budget. It is with the help of M4D that assisted us to know how to include and carry everybody along in the community. That is inclusiveness. Yeah. That is why they initiated what is known as town hall meeting.
Town hall meeting.
Yes, so that people will feel that they are part of the budget. It's a people's own budget when they participate in the town hall meeting, and it is there that we discuss all the budget processes and discuss the demand of the community along with them.
All right, Aminu, you want to chip in? What sort of assistance?
Apart from the capacity building, there are this issue of participatory planning to ensure that these people that are in the local communities participated fully in the budget through the CBOs, and the town hall meeting entails everybody that was willing to be part of the meeting, not just the CBOs. You are all invited. If you come, maybe you may have different issues, not those that present by the CBOs. The relation, the engagement also ensure that you relate with everybody equally. That means you have to be gendered responsive in terms of budgeting.
The CBOs now, you guys, they talked about capacity building, and it's a major key. You also have this capacity building by M4D?
Yeah, exactly. M4D have been giving us capacity building training through different workshops. In Kaduna, Jigawa, Kaduna, Abuja, we went to many places for this workshop to make sure that they improve our capacity in this area. And yes, before the coming of M4D, we don't even know anything about budget in the local government. But nowadays, we are part and parcel of the budget preparation and the implementation in the local government.
Let us look at the area, the major area of focus. On what area the capacity building initiatives mostly focused on?
Okay, yeah, it focuses on good governance, transparency and accountability from the policymakers, then to mobilize, then from the citizens to be mobilized on how to generate and prioritize their demands and how to participate in the decision making in their localities, that is in the local government. That is the major area where it focuses.
Let us look at the area of focus in terms of, you talk about capacity building by M4D. Sani Ayuba, in Ringim local government, what specific area of capacity building are we talking about here?
Yeah, because we are talking on budget planning, it is on participatory budget planning.
Participatory budget planning.
Yes.
Yes. In Igabi also?
Yes, of
participatory.
course. Yeah.
That's the main focus.
Main focus.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has to be inclusive.
Yeah, inclusive.
It has to be inclusive.
That is right.
So who are we including? Who are we including?
Women and PWDs.
It has to be gender sensitive.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
The whole community.
All right, the whole community, and that does it. What has been the impact, anyway, of the capacity building on the local government planning and budgeting procedures? The capacity building that we're talking about, the specific area of concentration. Yes, what has been the impact of this capacity building?
The people feel at home. They feel that the budget, they own the budget. People feel that now they partake and they participate, and they don't have any fear on whether the local government or the policymakers and service providers are sidelining them during the preparation of budget. So everybody is carried along.
Everybody is carried along.
Carried along. Yeah. So there is no any fear. So everything is done on a transparency way.
Okay.
A transparent way.
There is transparency, and the people don't entertain fear any longer. Yes. Whenever they talk about budget, they are party. Yeah. They are part of it all. Yeah. In Igabi, you also have this inclusiveness where people feel belong.
Yes, because the budget engenders people, it's a people-centered budget.
Okay.
And it stimulates good relationship between the local people and the local government actors. As well, it serves as a way of weighing the performance of the local government through monitoring the performance of the budget. People are now incorporated into the budget monitoring. That is through project implementation and monitoring committee. And that committee is inclusive. It's an inclusive committee that comprises all the stakeholders of the local government, including the PWDs, the women, and the CBOs. So it makes people to own any project or policy provided by the local government, because they are part and parcel of planning, implementation, and by implication, it ensures sustainability of that policy or project. Yes.
Again, community-based organizations, they can't run away from this.
Yeah.
Yes, let's hear from you.
Yeah, exactly. When people participate in planning and budgeting in the local government, they feel they are part of it and they own the whole process. When they feel they own the whole process, honestly speaking, they will be, it will ease the whole thing, because they will also participate in implementation, and they feel they own the maybe policy, or they own whatever, they own
any project
in the community.
Yes.
So they will make sure that they make the thing to be sustainable, and because what is happening now in my local government, whenever people participate in a project, they make sure that they form a committee that will be overseeing the facility so that they overlook after it.
All right.
Another impact is it simplifies local governance.
Okay.
It makes governance very easy at the local, at the grassroots level.
Okay.
Because
How?
local government is very volatile in the sense that it's scattered and so. But with the representation of the CBOs, it makes the relationship between the local people and the local government service providers very easy, because that's representation will take the information back to his community or constituents.
All right.
Yes.
The community-based organizations seems to be the intermediary between the community and those who are governing, right?
Yes.
Pick message from the other side, take it there, bring it from the other side, and it goes on.
Yes,
that is what we call, I think, by M4D, that is what is called effective feedback mechanism.
Feedback mechanism.
Yes.
I love that. Feedback mechanism. And that's lovely. Well, Sani Ayuba, let's begin to talk about, challenges here and there. In the budgeting, in the planning and budgeting, particularly you that work in the research and statistics, looking at the budgeting procedures generally, has there been any specific challenge in working in the areas of planning and budget?
Yeah. The first challenge, the way I look at it, is started with the state government, because it is from the state government that send us the amount of what we are to spend in our capital project. That is the service to be delivered to the people. The amount of the money fetched for that services is from the state government. So you find out that you have a chunk of demand from your community, and the demand, if you gather them together, they outweigh your capital. That is what is being expected for you to spend in the capital allocated to you. So this is one of the big challenges. Then there is untimely release of fund. In fact, the state government sometimes they don't release fund as at when due. So this is another challenge. Then most of the time, the revenue pegged out, that is to be realized, is not being realized.
Okay.
So we find out that the revenue is not actual of what you are going to realize.
Okay.
So then there is a problem between the community and the local government because of what had happened in the past. That is what you call the antecedent of the past. So mostly, when a snake bites you, the next time when you see something which is black, you run away. So most of the time, it's very difficult for you to convince them that there is a change. So please come together, make this budget together with us. This time there is change. So mostly for you to mobilize them, you find problem because of that antecedent.
Okay.
So these are some of the
challenges, some of the problems. Gabi,
another challenge is change of government. Incessant change of local government chairman or administrator takes back the system, because you have to explain afresh to the new chairman or sole administrator before he come to term with you and follow and support the program. As well, the issue of conflicts, community conflicts, is also a problem to to planning budget in the local government, because you may find out that within a given community, there's different groups with different interests. So if this group brought the one interest, another group bring their own. You have to know the technicalities to sit them with and then support them to prioritize the demands. This is the essence of one of the training we go from the M4D, that's complex sensitivity analysis. So we try to use that system in controlling all these conflicts between the local communities. Also, the statistical lack or inadequate statistical data that can be used as a baseline for planning and budgeting. Yes.
And what I want to say about this inadequate statistical data, I think it doesn't comes into my Jigawa state.
Okay.
Yes, because we have ruled that out. We have a very effective data center, which all our data in the local government comes with it. That is under planning, research, and statistics.
Definitely, I want to agree with you
and
as
again,
the director.
Yes, and again, we have this demand logbook. This demand logbook, I don't know whether it has been initiated in Kano and Kaduna, but it's initiated in my state, that is within the local government. This demand logbook is an easy way of collecting data, that is demand. Demand of the CBOs, demand of the community. Which is channeled through CBOs and CSOs. It comes and we register it in the demand logbook. And all the departments are having the demand logbooks. So we all have that data, and we separate that demand from the demand logbook, and we separate them, and we categorize them, and we prioritize them, so that we know which to take and which is not going to be taken. And again, during the town hall meeting, we address the issue of the demand which is not being captured in the budget. Yes.
Awaisu, as the CBO intermediary moving from left to right, from right to left, what are the challenges anyway as regards budget and planning?
Yeah, honestly speaking, there are challenges. Some of the challenges is nowadays it has to reach a situation whereby community, when we go back to community for budget demand generations, they will tell you that, yeah, you were here last year and you now come again and nothing is to be sure, because the problem is the local government doesn't have the fund to finance the budget. That is a major challenge we are facing. Now people begin to lose hope, confidence in us that, yes, when you come is business as usual, that nothing will be sure. So that's the major challenge we are facing now. Unless and until the local government has autonomy that to manage their funds, that is when we may have hope that, yes, the community will have confidence in us.
Now, Alevron, you want to ask something?
No.
All right. Again, Sani Ayuba is talking about an envelope at the beginning of the budget process.
Yeah.
And that envelope, you said it contains?
The budget envelope, it contains all what you are expected to spend.
So, to the local government.
To the local government.
From the state government.
From the state government. The budget envelope contains what is to be spent in the office of the chairman. Yeah. What is to be spent in the all departments, and of course, what is going to be your overhead. Okay. Only the personnel cost, which has been preferred through nominal role in the role in the local government. Yeah. So only the overhead, the personnel cost that is being projected by the local government. Okay. Because that one, it contains the salary of the workers. So we sometimes analyze the expected people to be promoted, and who is going to be retired and what have you.
So again, from that,
in the case of Kaduna, we are different, because Kaduna, we introduced that only 40% can be spent in recurrent, while 60% has to go to capital expenditure. It didn't say you must spend this or so amount, but 60% or whatever you will get must go to capital projects, while 40% will go to recurrent expenditure.
Now let's look at realistic budget. You were talking about this envelope, who specifically is telling the local government chairman how much money is for this, is for that. Yeah. Realistic budget. Can we really have that in the local government areas?
Yeah. Or we can only have a realistic budget in the local government area on 2 occasions.
Yes, let's hear them.
The first occasion is if and only if the local government is autonomous. Okay. Then the second occasion is when the local government tries as much as possible to explore ways, avenues of getting internally generated revenue.
IGR.
That is the local government. The IGR of the local government. So there are a lot of things which are left and which the local government still hasn't explored. That is in terms of revenue generation. So these are the way I look at it. If the local government is autonomous, then the local government, right from the word go, it hasn't have any involvement from the state government, and the money it is given from the statutory allocation federal government, I think is very much enough to make the budget realistic.
Can it be realistic at the local government level? More money for the local government to spend outside the
Yes,
federation
the
allocation?
issue of autonomy is one of the biggest problems.
Okay.
But even with the autonomy, if the service providers are not committed to their duties, that realistic budget cannot be possible.
Okay.
We as civil servants, we have to commit ourselves and be responsive in our services to the people. So the issue of revenue, whether you gather revenue, no matter how much you gather, if you are not responsive, that money will not reach the expected result.
The issue of, I think the issue of service providers and policymakers, I think is somehow been addressed by the M4D.
All right.
Because M4D preach transparency. And again, M4D involve and carry everybody's along.
Okay.
And it is the community that mostly now, being that they are involved. So the community that right now monitor and evaluate their budget.
Okay.
So I think, to me, the issue of that transparency from the policymakers and service providers or from the local government, I think is of less important.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, because of time factor. And okay, I know if we have to spend 2 hours here talking about money, 2 hours definitely will not be enough for us. All right, I want to thank you guys for coming into the studio. This is where we'll draw curtain on the program again for today, Mobilizing for Development. And I've been talking with Sani Ayuba, who is the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, Ringim Local Government Area of Jigawa State. I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And also, Minu Jafar is the Deputy Director, Education and Social Development, Igabi Local Government Area of Kaduna State. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for your time. Waisu Umar Usman is the Chairman of Garumalan Youth Progressive Movement.
Thank you too, Madam.
It's a pleasure to have you guys on. And for your information, as usual, if you want to join us, do send your SMS onto this number, 08067890514. Please, SMS only. Don't call that number for your views, comments. And we also encourage you to visit our website as M4D website, www.mobilizingfordevelopment.com. Remember, M4D aims to enhance local governance and contribute to improved local service delivery in selected LGAs of Kano, Kaduna, and Jigawa State. M4D is funded by the UK Department for International Development and managed by the Palladium Group. I am Zachary Yusuf on behalf of the entire production crew. See you next week.